Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Global is going to be getting Area 32 as part of the Chapter 5 Part 2 of the new stages of the Dokkan quest area being added. Now if you don't know what that is on Global, this is the precursor to Dokkan getting the very unique and pretty sick and actually pretty decent unit in the free-to-play LR, Trunks and Broly. So we're only getting the first few stages 1 to 4 of Area 32 being added soon, especially because we have the Dokkan Fest Trunks celebration will start a few days ago, and on JP this took a few months, I think like 3-4 months to come about, so it's either going to take pretty much the same amount of time, which takes us up to April, which is funny enough when we get Saiyan Day and then the JP New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest, which will be SJ3 Goku and Hirudegon. Global may get it a tiny bit quicker. You know, maybe cut down to 3 months, maybe to a push, but it could easily take the full amount of time and we could have that content spaced out. Not that it really matters too much considering Global doesn't have a lot of stuff coming right now that's all too hype. You know, you got Trunks, TOP androids, what's the other unit? Gohan and Piccolo. And then, you know, LR Omega Shenron will be squeezed in somewhere. LR Ribrian will be a part of TOP Android Celebration. It's like a part 2 near the end of the month. And then the only thing we have to look forward to is, well, at the earliest, is of course actually Saiyan Day. So we'll get stages 1 to stage 4 of Area 32 added. And then from completing these, we'll get the new SSR, which will be Trunks. This unit does start as purely as a Trunks. And then by the time you get to the end of all of these quest stages, and we're after that 3 to 4 month period on JP, they then got the LR, Trunks and Broly unit and can fully Dokkan awaken them. Kind of like when we got LR Vegito Blue all those years ago. So that's how you get Trunks and Broly, and that's how you get Trunks. You go through, we get these new stages, you pick up the incredible gems, so good thing you might want to do now is start grinding a bit now, just so you have enough in the bank ready for getting this unit, rainbowing them out for free, maxing them out, all that good stuff, and then eventually saving enough incredible gems to then pick up the awakening medals when you need them to Dokkan awaken them all the way into an LR. And then once LR, Trunks and Broly do appear on Global and you do awaken them, this is what they're going to be able to do. So leader skills neither here nor there, but the time travelers key +3, HP and attack and defense plus 80%. On 12 key they'll raise attack and defense by 30%, cause colossal damage to the enemy. And on 18 key will raise attack and defense by 30% again and cause mega cross damage to the enemy and greatly lower their defense as well. On their passive, they'll start with key +4, attack and defense plus 100%. They'll randomly change type key spheres into rainbow key spheres when in slot 1 or slot 3 at the start of turn. They'll then gain an additional key +2 per rainbow key sphere obtained and an additional attack plus 20% per rainbow key sphere obtained as well. They'll launch 2 additional attacks which have a 30% chance of becoming a super attack, and they have a 50% chance of performing a critical hit. So even though they're a free-to-play unit, they have additionals built in and they have crit built in. Now the additional is only a 30% chance, but don't forget, that could be one super attack, which is 30% attack and defense. That could be another super attack, which is a second 30% attack and defense. Then another additional from their passive, which is a third 30% attack and defense, and then because you rainbowed them out for free, could be a fourth 30% attack and defense. So for a free-to-play unit, actually doing some good damage, along with having a 50% chance to crit on each of those super attacks. The initial one, the additionals built into the passive, and the dupe system, all while raising their defense 4 times, potentially by 30% as well. Not only that, they then gain an additional attack and defense plus 40% on super, and then they gain an attack and defense plus 31% and damage reduction of 8% for each super attack performed during that turn. So the potential with the unit is there. As I said, if you perform the max amount of super attacks, which I said is the initial one, the 2 additionals, and then the dupe system, because again, they're going to be rainbowed out for free, you could potentially then not only build up pretty much 120% defense worth of that 30% on the attack and defense, but then also a total of what, 36% damage reduction? Maths. 4 times tables, 8 times tables. what was it, 24, and then another 8, yeah, no, 32% damage reduction. So all of that extra attack and defense on super attacks, and then the extra 32% damage reduction on top of that. So Dokkan have actually done a really good job with this LR Trunks and Broly of making them somewhat viable. Are they going to be world beaters in Red Zone? No. But are they somewhat viable for a free-to-play unit to actually be able to take on the more difficult content in the game like Red Zone and the Shadow Dragon event? Yeah. They can hold their own, which I'm very happy with. For a free-to-play unit, this is probably one of the best free-to-play units in the game. Not to mention as well, it's one of the most unique with Broly and Trunks. But also they look sick. Like, they look cool, it's a very unique thing, it's a sick kind of crossover. And they are pretty good. For a free-to-play unit, they are very viable in difficult content, which is more than you can ask for. They also have an active skill where they'll gain ki plus 20 and get attack plus 60%, and attacks will connect with the enemy for 1 turn. And then to activate this, your HP is 40% or lower, or from turn 6. As active skill conditions go, they're not the best, but as active skills go, they're not insane either, but you're not going to turn down extra damage. In terms of their link skill, same way race, same lineage, shocking speed, prepare for battle, Super Saiyan, shocking the legendary power. Really not difficult to link whatsoever. Like, they have all of the top kind of key links as well, so they're never really going to struggle. So all that extra key is going to make it very easy to hit 18 keys off with them, along with the orb changing as well. And then, what was it, ki plus 2 for every rainbow key sphere they do pick up. They do go on Time Travelers, Full Power, Joined Forces, Super Saiyan, Connected Hope, and Trusted Will, Power of Wishes. Now, in terms of their actual in terms of their actual categories, are they the best for them? Not really, but I mean, they do have some standouts. You know, Time Travelers is still a very strong category after Worldwide last year. You know, you have Future Gohan, his domain, you have Sword of Hope Trunks, you have, you know, VB. There's some very good units that go on Time Travelers, including some Easy A's. Super Saiyans as well, especially with the new LR that just dropped on Global with the Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. And then Power of Wishes as well. You know, out of all them categories, there's only 3 that really stand out to me a lot, but there's very strong categories that if you're missing some of the bigger units, this unit could slide on. And even if you do have them as a free-to-play unit, you know, not costing any premium currency, not costing any stones, they're not a bad option to try out. As I said, they're very viable in difficult content, and that's a lot more than you can ask for when it comes to free-to-play units. So we are getting stages 1 to 4 of Area 32, which is part 2 of the quest mode they're doing right now. So remember, we'll only get SSR Trunks for the time being, and over the course of 3 to 4 months, maybe even less on Global, but 3 to 4 months as it took on JP is when we'll finally get the rest of them that we need. We'll finally get the Dokkan Awakening medals from the shop, and then we can finally Dokkan Awakening this Trunks into LR Trunks and Broly. So start grinding your incredible gems now, and when the new stages drop, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. I hope Dokkan does more of this in the future, of these kind of, you know, crossover units and sick things like this. I think it'll be a cool thing, especially during the Dokkan story, where they can kind of do whatever they want. You know, imagine one day we get VB and Gogeta Blue as like a crossover free-to-play card that everyone can use and they're viable. If Dokkan keep doing stuff like this, I'm all here for it, and especially if they're viable as well, it makes them worth grinding. And not only that, they're quite a unique and sick novelty to have. But as I said, do let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a good rest of your day, and post.